Hello, I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. I hope you're all having a good Memorial weekend. It's just another day without my kids. Another day I'd rather, be 8648. Do we need Comey to decipher that one? But it didn't happen to me. 2 years ago today, it happened to this man. This man was my next door neighbor, and he was like the father I never had. He was like the father a lot of people never had, because a lot of people here don't have fathers, and this was a man who wanted to be one, but yet again wasn't allowed to. What's happened to his daughter is terrible, but story for another day. I'm here to talk about what happened 2 years ago today. One, his family needs to know. His friends need to know the truth and what really happened. Ralph deserves a lot more than what he got in life. I know the story better than anybody because I was in the middle of it every day. I spent every day of my life with this man. Every day I woke up and put a cup in front of the coffee pot in case I was in the bathroom or outside taking care of the animals, because I knew he'd be there. And he was there for a lot of people. He did for the community. That's part of why him and I don't know if you want to call it brothers or son and father, we both did for the community and loved it. And our community loved us and loved him for it. So I'm going to ask you, please like, subscribe, share. Please help me get heard, because I am bringing the stories from the victim on the streets of all of this. All of these stories that I'm bringing you. And I'm in between both the stories against our system and the criminals. It's been terrible, and I have a lot more to tell. Many more people that have been killed in my life, including myself that was almost killed, and two other people who did die in that whole thing that took place. And again, all of this, everything I'm bringing you is all documented in police records, court records, newspaper articles. It's all out there. I'm doing this to let the public know this is really what goes on in our systems and why our communities are having so many problems. There's nothing. I've been through the whole system, from victims through the legal system, through the court systems, and none of them care. None of them do their jobs. It's all been not even, I'm tired of hearing the system is broken. It's non-existent. All it is titles and paychecks. That's why I use the term over and over. All it is a smoke and mirrors. Titles and paychecks. We have something. They do something. Yeah, they hurt people. Kill people. Damn people. And it's the wrong people that they're doing it to. There's a lot in the story I'm going to be bringing you. Show it all. Now, I aired the video where I talked to, I'll link it right here, and found out that not only she was not convicted of murder when she entered an elderly person's house in the middle of the night to rob him and ended up shooting and killing him instead. That's not murder in our society here, in our system here. That's not murder. Wow. Oh yeah, it's okay for her husband to not only, if he wants to steal the people's vehicles that they killed, because a lot more took place through all of this. I'll link that video. I linked that video just a minute ago. You can see where I talked to the police in the beginning of that, because I didn't know what number I was calling to get the information. It just gave me a phone number to call. All right, let's see who this is. Oh, it's the police department. Well, while I'm on the phone with them, might as well report. He's trying to steal vehicles and sell them online. But they don't care. Who does their job? Why have I had to spend 30 years of my life in the gutters doing their job for them and the dangerous parts, which is why I was kidnapped, tortured, beaten, 2 people dead, and I almost was myself. But they don't care. So much. It's God, people, I'm sorry. So, leading up to this night, the woman who killed him this is a woman who's got a history of just troubled history. People here, I've again sat, and I don't know if I could find that video and air it. I sat with a woman who cried for help and said, I have a minor child and I'm going to kill myself and I need help. And they said, we'll call you tomorrow and make sure you're okay. Wow. Our system is just unbelievable. You can sit here and scream and cry for help and don't nobody care. See why I smoke so much? That's where my kids gave me so much. I didn't smoke because of them. They gave me the happiness I needed to overlook all the freaking bad in my life. Because there's nothing more powerful than loving your child and raising children and getting lost in being a parent. The only thing that could add to that is to have a mother who felt the same way. So leading up to the night that he was murdered, the police had been called on her many times. They came to my house looking for her. I filed reports against her. Other people filed reports against her. Her husband was reported shooting a gun inside the house, shot out a window of the house, because that's how you test if a gun's loaded or not, when you have a 3-month-old and 4 other minor children in the house, and the mother and the father-in-law. You just pick up a gun and pull the trigger to find out if it's loaded or not, right? Because you're on drugs and drunk and you don't know any better. But yet our system didn't care about that report either. So many things reported they won't even investigate, and they've even come out right and said, we're scared, we're not going there. Well, how do you think that 6-year-old kid feels in that house? You don't think that 6-year-old kid is scared? And you're too scared because it's your title and your paycheck to put away your fears in your own personal and save that child. Save these elderly people that have been reported over and over getting abused, but they don't. And then they get killed and we just brush it under the rug, turn the person loose. Look, it never happened. We don't have a criminal record. Oh my God, people. So leading up to this night, cops have been called many times, reports many times on this woman throughout her lifetime, many reports. I'm not going to go digging into that because it could be another whole video just in itself. But a history of being a wild child, I guess, if you want to put it in a term. So it was the night before Labor Day, Sunday night, that she ran out the door, and I get a call, and I didn't answer. I got tired of these calls all the time. Her calling me, the cops are chasing me, can you come pick me up in a city 40 minutes away from here? And I'm going, no, I'm not doing it. Well, come on, all you gotta do is just come pick me up and then let me take your car. No, I'm not getting involved in this. God, if I'd have known anything like this about you, I'd have never even talked to you. The only reason I started talking to her because this man right here adopted her as a daughter. Because her own mom and her dad who is ex-police, ex-law enforcement, I believe he was a detective or more than just a street cop. Neither of them wanted anything to do with her or get involved with her, and only this man would try to care enough about her to take care of her. She got arrested, and I took him to go pick her up and take care of her, and God, so much. But even I talked to the cops and said somebody needs to do something about her, her husband, and the children. I reported it many times because I care more about the kids. Didn't expect it to happen. You don't expect anything to happen. I do because that's just my life happens. So right here's another case. This happened shortly after I lost my kids. And then I lost a man who was like a father to me. Then I lost my dog. And then I found out one of my kids is missing. And then I found out one of them's dead. Breathe. I had a military counselor, mental health expert from the military. I don't want to give a specific title because I don't know what it was. His name was Cole Francis, and I'll tell you what, he's the only counselor I've ever had that taught me techniques, and breathing is one that he taught me that I use a lot. And I'll tell you, it's really powerful, other than you shouldn't be breathing these. God, I don't have anything in my life to keep me happy enough not to smoke and not to want to go 86-48. So that night, Sunday night, I didn't answer the phone when her husband was calling. Then he started sending me text messages that she ran out the door naked and took off into the woods. Now, these are both meth addicts, and this is part of why I made that video, which I'll link here. Meth is death. I'm telling you, people, that meth is not like most other drugs, cocaine, heroin. The problem is it's all chemicals. There's no natural base to it. Once it starts reprogramming your brain, you don't come back like other drugs. It just... You want to call it the zombie apocalypse? Right there's the start of it. Because these people are really messed up and they don't ever quit. They can't. They don't have it. It takes away that part of their brain to be able to comprehend straight to quit. And now she's going to get turned loose back into that house with a guy who's still doing meth, a guy who's still abusing children, has been abusing children, child endangerment. And it's all going to... What about the kids? Kids who not only had to experience all that they've already experienced and then going to get... What parent takes the kid to the house to rob it? A minor child. Hey, your mom just shot Grandpa. Let's go rob the house. Who does that? Leaves an 8-month-old baby in the back of a pickup truck, a black pickup truck on an 85-degree day in the sunshine with the windows rolled up for 8 hours. What law enforcement, state, and sheriff stand in the driveway and say we're not getting involved? What about the guns? This is a murder scene just hours ago. What the hell is he doing here breaking into the house? Not getting involved. I went to the first court trial where they presented the case. I'll tell you what, if I was a defense attorney, and I don't know, maybe that's what happened, they ate the case alive because they screwed it up so bad. Oh my God. The whole entire case, after I sat through the first trial and watched them present the case, and I just couldn't believe, like, wait, you guys even think that makes sense? She shot him then walked outside of the room with the gun, and then walked back in the room, stepped over his dead body the long way, ejected a shell out of a rifle and set the rifle down next to a nightstand next to the bed, and then stepped back over his body and left the room. Wait, that makes sense to you? I mean, I know people on drugs don't make sense. A lot of things can't make sense with people who are mentally ill and have mental disorders. But that's what they presented. They presented that he used a hunting rifle, a 243, because there was a shell laying on the ground. Now, wouldn't murder forensic investigators know these couple of details that just don't seem to make sense? One, it was a bolt action rifle, which meant she would have had to shoot him and then eject a shell and rack another round. Well, one, if she was not guilty and didn't murder him, why would she rack another round? But they used that because there was a shell laying on the floor, and that's why that was the gun being used. When that's not why that shell was laying on the floor. I actually know why that shell was laying on the floor. Because Ralph went hunting and came back and ejected the empty shell case in the room instead of outside in the yard. He's tired of the dogs around here too, and he was one of the old school locals who cared about the land and what the devastation is that has been taking place here. One of his family members is one of the biggest locals of out hunting these dogs because it's overrun the rest of the population. And this is a man, his family started the first resort here and they were one of the first settlers here, and they were ones who lived off the land and cared about whether they were going to have a food source or not. This man right here is part of what distilled me to stand up and be strong and actually say, yes, my beliefs of hunting morally stands before what another person tells me I'm allowed to do. My morals and values will always come first. I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to do the right thing and just have food. So on top of that, that's what they claimed. That didn't make sense in itself. Well, let me ask you this. Does this make sense? They claimed that she used a 243 rifle, which leaves a hole. I saw the pictures. And with my brain and my eyes and the damage I have, the picture was up for minutes and I couldn't figure out what I was seeing because there wasn't a body laying on the floor that you could tell was a body. Because a huge portion of it was missing. I thought there was just some clothes laying there until the last seconds that they went to click to the next scene that it hit. No, that was him. Or what was left of him. That's not indicative of a rifle bullet. That's indicative of a shotgun with birdshot, which I know he had sitting right inside the door, which would have been on the side where she was able to access the way his body was laying, all of it. Like, Jesus, I could never be an attorney because these systems, especially now, I'm going to be making a video about why I'm so grateful I didn't become a lot of the things I wanted to become, because there's no way I could have sat in those systems and morally supported what I saw. I'd have been in trouble one way or another, I'm sure. Because I don't stand for that. I stand for what's right every time. Not every time, but the strongest morals that I have, I will not let go of, because I let go of those, I open up my own Pandora's box. That's how I maintain control and discipline and respect. Just by not letting my own Pandora's box be opened. So they claim that she used a hunting rifle, and they took that rifle but left the shotgun. Well, guess what? Just hours afterwards, her husband broke into the house and stole that shotgun along with all the rest of the guns that were in that house. Here's another part that would be indicative if she used the rifle. Wouldn't there be a hole in the wall? Wouldn't the rifle bullet have gone through a close countered object and exited and gone through a wall? There were no holes. The shotgun that I believe was used was a 28 gauge, a small shotgun. I know it was a 28 gauge, and I know it had birdshot because I ordered him the birdshot. He used to carry that gun back and forth from my house to his house, and he'd shoot partridge on the way. Well, here they call them partridge, they're grouse. And if he'd catch a grouse, he would shoot a grouse, and we'd have lunch. None of that made any sense, and it was in the testimony that she shot him and then walked into the living room carrying the gun. His body was laying the long way in the hallway, not hallway in the bedroom, but like a walkway that was only like 3 feet wide, and the length of his body going aside of the bed. So it doesn't make any sense that she stepped all the way over what was left to him. Then again, I guess it doesn't make any sense that her husband would bring their children to go and rob the house of all that. Or would it make any sense that the police actually allowed it to happen? Oh my God, people. I'll link a video here where I talked the very next day to the state troopers superior. Figured that was the top of the line. I've already dealt with the sheriff's department and the sheriff himself in my own case, which he just blew off. Admitted, yep, we did wrong. Sorry, we screwed up. Our bad. Sorry about your kids. It's just total. This is seriously all documented and true, people. I can't even believe this is my reality all over and over and over again. What goes on around me, the people I love just getting hurt because our systems don't. Titles and paychecks, that's all it is. Smoke and mirrors. Blow that one up your keister. Ralph didn't deserve this. This is a man who grew a garden of raspberries just so we could take and pass them out to people in our community. The people in our community made us jellies and jams and desserts and brought them, and he was a man with a sweet tooth, let me tell you. I don't eat candy, but I kept a bowl on my counter just for him. I miss you, Ralph. He didn't deserve any of it. Again, if our systems did their jobs. Well, wait, they didn't even find her guilty of murder. After she went to his house in the middle of the night to steal one of his guns, because she's all flipped out on dope. I'll tell you what, we want to make a reality show. How about you take some meth heads and actually throw them in a room or in some sort of environment, put them on their dope and watch what happens, because it's unbelievable, people. Their brains just, there is no reality whatsoever. But he wouldn't let her take the gun. And when he tried to take it from her, she shot and killed him. I don't care what state of mind somebody was in. He didn't deserve that. And she doesn't get to deserve walking free to go out and create more chaos in this flippin' world. And you add how bad she was then, now add this in the mix of this is going to be in her mind. Making people like this, it doesn't make people like this stronger. It makes them weaker and weaker and even more tormented. But hey, send her back to the kids. Send her back to the dope fiend husband who truly does have an arsenal of guns. And the only time I've ever been to his house, every time I was there with this man. And I was there because he was scared to go there alone to take milk, bread, cheese. He would, once a month, we'd go and take them milk and bread and food, groceries. But every time we'd show up, her husband would go and strap an AR around him and walk around with an AR around him, if not a pistol strapped in his waistband too. We'd walk in, he looks like a normal dressed person, and then disappears and comes right back 2 minutes later strapped with guns. I mean, these are seriously demented people. I guess we'll just wait until more of them die, right? Then we still won't do anything about it. Watch more die. Watch more die. Watch more suffering and pain. Thank God we have titles and paychecks.